Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into this. If you've ever owned a PC, you absolutely know the dread of a sudden, out-of-nowhere system crash. Well, today, we're going to demystify one of the absolute most powerful diagnostic features on your computer. We're going to turn what is usually a completely frustrating ordeal into an incredibly accessible, manageable tool. That's right, we are mastering Windows Safe Mode.
So, ever stared helplessly at a blue screen of death? I mean, we've all been there, right? You're right in the middle of a totally crucial project, and suddenly, boom, everything just stops. Your heart literally sinks. It's incredibly frustrating, it definitely induces a bit of panic, and you just feel entirely locked out of your own machine. But hey, don't worry, because this is exactly where our hero, Safe Mode, steps in to save the day. All right, here is our quick roadmap for today. We're going to cover Section 1, the ultimate troubleshooting lifeline, Section 2, inside the clean room, Section 3, accessing the safe zone, Section 4, your troubleshooting toolkit, and finally, Section 5, exiting and moving forward. Let's get into it. Section 1, the ultimate troubleshooting lifeline.
For this first part, I kind of want you to shift your perspective a bit. Let's frame your PC as the patient, and you're the attending doctor. Think of Safe Mode as your computer's built-in triage center. I mean, it is quite literally the digital emergency room. When you start Windows in this specific mode, you are stripping away all the fancy, unnecessary extras and booting up the operating system with only the bare essentials it needs to actually function. No frills, no third-party distractions, just pure, bare-bones survival mode to help you figure out exactly what went wrong. Section 2, inside the clean room.
Let's slow down for just a second to explain exactly how this clean room environment isolates the source of your problems, because the contrast is actually pretty wild. A normal startup, it loads an absolute mountain of components. You've got the boot manager, the kernel, all your specialized device drivers, those really annoying third-party startup apps, and just a myriad of background services going on at once. It's crowded. But Safe Mode, it acts like a skeleton crew running a ship. It's only going to load your basic keyboard and mouse functionality, standard low-resolution video drivers, and strictly essential services. It intentionally prioritizes stability over convenience.
So when do you actually need to admit your patient to this clean room? Well, if you're experiencing symptoms like an immediate crash right after installing some new software, those dreaded blue screens of death, your system totally freezing on startup, driver conflicts, a stubborn malware infection, or just a massively slow system after a Windows update, yeah, you need Safe Mode. For instance, if you install a brand new graphics driver and your system just immediately starts crashing, this restricted environment actually lets you safely go in and remove the culprit without the computer repeatedly dying on you. And depending on what the patient needs, you've got 3 distinct levels of triage you can choose from. Level 1 is Basic Safe Mode, which is literally just the core components, super perfect for simply uninstalling a bad app. Level 2 is Safe Mode with networking, which adds your internet access back in so you can download updated drivers or, frantically look up troubleshooting guides online. And finally, Level 3 is Safe Mode with command prompt. This strips away the graphical desktop entirely, leaving you with just a raw command line interface for some really deep bare metal repair.
Section 3, accessing the safe zone. Now that we know what it is, let's calmly walk through the exact steps to admit our patient into the ER. We're going to look at the most reliable method in modern systems like Windows 10 and 11, starting right from your main settings menu. It's super straightforward. First, just press the Windows key plus the I key on your keyboard to open up Settings. Then, just navigate over to System and select Recovery. Once you're in the System menu, simply click right into that Recovery section. Okay, so the crucial part is under Recovery Options. You're looking for the Advanced Startup section. You just need to hit the Restart Now button right next to it to begin the actual triage process. Oh, and definitely make sure you've saved any open work before you click this. When your PC reboots, you are going to be greeted by a series of blue menus. Seriously, don't let these intimidate you. Just follow this logical path. Select Troubleshoot, then Advanced Options, and finally Startup Settings. After one more really quick restart, you'll land on a Startup Settings screen. From there, you just simply press the 4, 5, or 6 number keys to choose your specific flavor of Safe Mode. But hey, what if your PC is completely frozen or worse, just won't boot at all? Don't panic, you still have options. First, you can open your Start menu, go to Power, and just hold down the Shift key while clicking Restart. If that fails and the machine won't even load Windows, you can actually force the doors to the emergency room open. Just turn the PC on, and the very moment Windows starts to load, hold down the physical power button to force a hard shutdown. Do this 3 times in a row. On the next boot, Windows will automatically surrender and just open the recovery environment for you.
Section 4, your troubleshooting toolkits.
All right, welcome to the surgery phase. Once you're safely inside the clean room, you unlock these pro-level administrator powers. If you opted for safe mode with command prompt, your very first tool is the system file checker. You just type sfc//scan now. Think of this command as a building inspector meticulously checking your home's foundation. It scans all your vital Windows system files and actively repairs any corruption it finds.
Now, if SFC is the inspector, our next command is the heavy machinery. It's called DISM, which stands for Deployment, Image Servicing, and Management. Typing dim/online/cleanupimage/restore health repairs the actual underlying Windows component store. Basically, it restores the deep-level health of the system image that the SFC command actually relies on to do its job.
And finally, we have check disk, which you type out as chkdsk/c/f/r. This command is basically your physical scout. It scours your actual physical hard drive, looking for structural file system errors and bad sectors, and it attempts to recover whatever readable information it can from damaged parts of the drive.
Section 5, exiting and moving forward.
The surgery is complete, and now you need to know how to properly discharge the patient. Usually, exiting is the easiest part. A simple restart totally works. Just go to the Start menu, hit Power, and select Restart. But occasionally, you might find yourself trapped in a safe mode loop. If that happens, press the Windows key +R, type msconfig, and hit Enter. In the System Configuration tool that pops up, jump over to the Boot tab, uncheck the Safe Boot box, click Apply, and Restart. That is your absolute fail-safe, get-out-of-jail-free card.
Now, just a quick reminder about your time inside safe mode. You're definitely going to notice some things. The screen resolution will be way lower, so everything will look a bit chunky. Your audio probably won't work, your fancy graphics card definitely won't engage, and overall performance will feel pretty reduced. But remember, things looking weird and sounding quiet is a feature, not a bug. These limitations are totally intentional to prioritize a stable diagnostic environment. It is a hospital bed, not a luxury resort. And as a fun little bit of nostalgia before we wrap up, if you were a PC user back in the early 2000s, rocking Windows XP or Windows 7, you undoubtedly remember frantically mashing the F8 key on your keyboard during startup, just praying to catch that exact millisecond window to trigger safe mode. Well, you can thank modern, lightning-fast solid-state drives for moving this process to the recovery environment today. Our modern PCs simply boot way too fast for the human finger to catch an F8 key press. Safe mode is an incredibly powerful built-in tool, and mastering it honestly gives you a massive advantage when doing software triage. It's the ultimate clean room. But it does leave us with an important, lingering question about the actual physical limits of our devices. Safe mode can brilliantly fix your software, but what is your plan when the hardware itself finally fails? Definitely something to think about as you continue to build your ultimate digital safety net. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.